Do you know who wrote the first computer program? Was it a man or a woman? Do you know the name? Do you know before which Indian empress about 157 foreign dynasties submitted their loyalty? Tulsi Gowda received a Padma Shri because of preservation of forests. Rahibai Soma Popere received Padma Shri for developing a seed bank. Wangari Maathai received Nobel Prize for forest conservation. Is there any link between women's approach of conservation and ecological sustainability? Do you know about an Indian enterprise started only by 7 women by taking a loan of just 80 rupees? Now has a turnover of about 650 crore rupees. Do you know the name of this enterprise? In the recent times, a humorist in a foreign country said, "I come from in India where we worship women during the day and gang rape them at night." Also recently in Geneva at United Nations Human Rights Commission headquarters, there were posters put out. Women in India are treated as slaves. Child marriages, serious violation of child rights in India and many more. Why is this important to consider this? Is because we are going to see how women in Bharat have played an important role and contributed in diverse areas like economic, social, political and cultural aspects. Please watch this video till the end to understand how women in Bharat have shaped the entire civilization. We will divide this video in 3 parts. Past, wherein we will see how women were instrumental in shaping the civilization and how has Indian society evolved the way it is. Present case, where we would see whether there is a linkage between ecological sustainability and women empowerment in terms of education and more choices to be offered to women, and then the future as to what lies ahead. Now let us go back in time machine around 2nd BC to Satvahana's dynasty. Naganika Satkarni took control of Satvahana after her husband's death. This also shows that all those who keep blowing trumpet about practice of sati in ancient Bharat as common practice wasn't that common at all. After assuming the charge as the empress, Naganika Satkarni happens to be one of the oldest empress of Bharat. Empress Naganika never ever allowed the sovereign force and Sanatana Dharma to decline during the external aggressions. By the way of her administration political skills, she took the economy to new heights. Around 157 foreign dynasties submitted before the sword of Empress Naganika. It was during the reign of Empress Naganika that the foreign invaders could not even think of setting foot on Bharatiya soil. That was the fear. Now let us go to Utkala or present day Odisha. Maharaj Shantikara I passed away and Tribhuvan Mahadevi I or Param Vaishnavi Goswamini Devi assumed the charge of an administrator from about 843 AD to 850 AD. One more case where fake narrative of Sati Pratha falls flat. Anyways, continuing the glory of Tribhuvan Mahadevi I, according to Persian geographer Khordabe, Tribhuvan Mahadevi I had immense strength and gained respect for her friendly relations with foreign states. The kingdom saw a period of great economic development and cultural growth. According to Dhenekal Charter, various schools of thoughts like Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktaism, Jainism, Buddhism flourished without any conflicts. They all coexisted peacefully. No internal breakdown of law and order problems were recorded, and this stands as a testimony of a truly secular state in ancient India. Because of her successful reign, her title was adopted by 6 more women administrators. Now let us move our time machine to 980 CE and go to Kashmir. Kashmir was ruled by Maharaj Kshemagupta. 26 years old Didda was married to Maharaj Kshemagupta. All those who say child marriage was prevalent in ancient Bharat need to note this point. I repeat, Didda was married at the age of 26 years with Maharaj Kshemagupta. Maharaj Kshemagupta passed away in the year 958 CE and Didda started her reign over Kashmir. Most of the information sourced from 10th century work Raj Tarangini by Kalhana. The specialty of her reign was Didda ensured that there were no internal conflicts nor external aggressions during her reign. Moving on to 11th century in Gujarat. After the death of Chalukya king Maharaj Karna I, Meenal Devi took the reins as administrator. She is well known for 2 things: her inclination towards infrastructure building like lakes and ponds for irrigation, and her justice delivery mechanism. The story goes that while building Dholka's Malav Talav, a poor woman's hut was on the shore of the pond, which was preventing in giving a round shape to the pond. Minal Devi offered as much money as the poor lady could demand as compensation. However, the poor lady did not agree to get her hut demolished. Now, Rani could have used her discretionary powers of force, but she did not do that. There is a groove in the pond even today. Therefore, the pond stands as an epitome of justice. Now, let us move the time machine to around 1150 AD. The Kakatiyas. Kakatiyas ruled in present-day Telangana region with Warangal as capital. Rudrama Devi was installed as monarch by her father King Ganpati Deva. After her father and husband passed away, she started administering. Rudrama signed a peace treaty with Yadava king of Devagiri. She introduced the policy of recruiting from non-aristocratic individuals in army. Equal opportunity employment. Now let us hear the brave story from Rajasthan around 1300 CE. As Khilji tried to invade Chittod, Padmini exercised Johar for self-respect and dignity, just to preserve the cultural identity. Going to present-day Madhya Pradesh in the year around 1550 AD, Rani Durgavati assumed the power as an administrator with Singaudgarh as capital in the Satpura hill range. About 23,000 villages were under her jurisdiction. Durgavati defeated Sultan of Malwa consistently. In 1562, Akbar annexed Malwa. Rani herself started heading defense missions. On June 24, 1564, with conspicuous bravery, she gave herself as an ultimate sacrifice, Param Tyaga, on the battlefield. In 1983, Madhya Pradesh Sarkar renamed University of Jabalpur as Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya. Moving to the present day Mangaluru area, a Jain Tuluva queen Rani Abbakka Mahadevi ruled Tulunadu. Rani Abbakka Mahadevi was an expert in military science and art of warfare. Shastra Astra Shastra Parangata. Portuguese tried to take control of Ullal region multiple times and got beaten badly every time. Such was the fate of Abbakka Mahadevi that even her husband sided the Portuguese. Despite such challenging situations, she put the interests of motherland above personal interest, thus following Raj Dharma. Moving to Karnataka region around 1671, Rani Keladi Chennamma was crowned as an administrator of present-day Bidnur region. She kept combating Bijapur army. She also provided refuge to Rajaram, who was son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Had this support not happened, the course of history would have changed forever. This also shows that in order to preserve Sanatana culture, so many people actually came together. It is because of such people's sacrifices, warfares, we are celebrating Holi, Deepavali, Yugadi, and whatnot. Back around 18th century in Chivagangai estate in present-day Tamil Nadu, the British East India Company along with Nawab of Arcot ended up killing Muthu Vadaganta Thevar. Thereafter, his wife Rani Velu Nachiyar assumed the power. She is attributed to fight single-handedly with British East India Company and Nawab of Arcot. The British took complete control of Shivaganga fort in Dindigal. Rani's close confidant Kuyuili entered the chambers and asked the ghee to be poured all over her body. Kuyuili set herself on fire, burning the entire armory chambers of British, thus making it easier for Velu to attack the fort with ease. Such are the stories of Param Tyag of women who have shaped this Bharat. Moving to 1824 in the Karnataka region, where Kittur Rani Chennamma and Krantivir Sangoli Rayana fought back with British East India Company. Similar is the story of Rani Lakshmibai and Tatya Tope in Jhansi region. Now that we have heard stories of women assuming powers as administrators, we are going to hear a story of Rashmoni Das, daughter of a poor laborer, who evolved as a leader. In 1830, Rashmoni's husband passed away. While the British East India Company imposed taxes on small fishermen just to extort money, Rashmoni Das paid 10,000 rupees to the British East India Company for taking a 10-kilometer stretch of Ganga on lease. Rashmoni ended up putting a large iron chains restricting the access of boats in the leased area. Because of the traffic build-up, finally this forced the company to abolish the taxes they levied on small fishermen. The stories can go on and on. As you look at the map of the Bharat, it is the blood and param tyag of these Veer Naris that has kept our cultural identities alive and intact. Why do we see such kind of a link? As if mother takes care of her baby. The similar link is seen even today. Coming to the present tense, if you consider the example of Tulsi Gowda, who was honored with Padma Award, Tulsi Amma has been credited to conserve the forests, just like mother takes care of her children. Same is the pattern observed in case of Rahibai Soma Popere, who has created a seed bank. Same is the case with Wangari Maathai, who won Nobel Prize for forest conservation. Now let us take an example of business enterprise. Starting with humble beginnings by 7 women who are known as sisters, Shri Mahila Griha Udyog Lijjat Papad has grown to over 81 branches, 27 divisions spread across different states in India, and about 43,000 sisters are members. Their products are exported worldwide. This enterprise was started by a loan of mere 80 rupees, and in 2013 the turnover was reported as 650 crore rupees, all driven by women. These examples seem to suggest that women who are given more powers to choose and opportunities outside home do have a positive effect on sustainability, be it nature or be it business. It is also obvious that education among women is resulting in raising the age of marriage, fewer children, which in turn results in poverty alleviation, improved life expectancy, more options and choose to work rather than stay at home with children. It is also very obvious that there is a link between rate of population growth and the environmental impacts it has. Now let us revisit the questions that I asked in the beginning. Do you know who wrote the first computer program? Was it a man or a woman? Do you know the name? The name is Ada Lovelace, a woman. We can have an entire series of video-only contribution of women in science and technology. Coming to the humorist in a foreign country, I come from in India where we worship women during the day and gang rape them at night. This is only a ploy to show Bharat in poor light and nothing else. And this is because of lack of knowledge of Bharatiya culture. Not knowing one's culture is not modernity but cowardice of highest order. That humorist has attempted to insult his own parents, exposing his upbringing. Also recently in Geneva, United Nations Human Rights Commission headquarters, there were posters put out. Women in India are treated as slaves. Child marriage is serious violation of child rights in India, and many more. Is it not important for each one of us to stand up and tell them that we come from a culture where we do not have God of knowledge but Goddess of knowledge. We do not have God of wealth but Goddess of wealth. We do not have God of fertility but we have Goddess of fertility. We refer our nation as motherland. We refer brothers as Sahodara, which means one who has come from same womb. What a beautiful concept. Even temple's inner sanctum is Garbha Griha. Entire universe has come to existence from Hiranya Garbha, or literally meaning golden womb. Finally, we come from a culture which says Yatra Naryastu Pujante Ramante Tatra Devataha Yatraistu Na Pujante Sarvastratra Phala Kriyaha. Where women are honored, divinity blossoms there. And wherever women are dishonored, all action, no matter how noble it may be, remains unfruitful. History will continue to teach till we learn our lessons right. Koti Koti namans to all those Matas and Bhaginis who have given their lives for shaping this civilization known as Bharat.